Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel. So usually I like to play one quick classic game just for fun before heading to bed, but one night I ran into this absolutely crazy Argus who was using 4 Windtalkers as his items. Now I know what you're thinking, like is this a troll build? And yeah, it definitely looks like one at first, but surprisingly it can actually delete squishy enemies thanks to the Windtalker's passive. Also, we ended up getting beaten by it, and it's very unfortunate that I couldn't record that match. So I will recreate the scene by using Argus with the same build on a topper band since he is equipped with immortality. And yeah, with the infinite passive trick using Inspire, it can still burst him down really fast. So how is Argus able to trigger his passive over and over? Well, turns out when you use his ultimate, his passive will give him 60 melee energy per hit, plus an extra 40 every time he lands a crit. So if you keep landing critical hits while his ultimate is active, he can instantly re-trigger his passive again and again. Now with 4 Windtalkers, he gets a massive boost in attack speed, and when you add Inspire, which raises the attack speed cap, Argus is now able to trigger his passive tons of times right before his ultimate ends. And honestly, it's kinda crazy to watch him spin like that. But enough with this crappy dummy that cannot even move. Let me show you what this build can actually do in a real classic match. But before we start the landing phase, I'm going to set my targeting priority to nearest enemy because yeah, I just don't want something like this to happen. So for the early landing phase, just play it safe and focus on farming for your Windtalker. And to be honest, I was kind of lucky and unlucky to go up against Natalia. She's really squishy, but her smoke can make all of my attack miss. So yeah, we're gonna play it safe while also keeping an eye on the map. Cause right here, Saber is getting ready to engage. So I'll just bait Natalia a bit and she just took the bait. Thanks for your help, sir. Once you get your first Windtalker, you'll be able to clear lands much faster, so then you can start farming for your second item, which is Berserker's Fury to boost your damage. You don't really need GDS yet since you're not ready to go full offensive, so just keep farming. And yeah, I gotta say I really respect this Saber. Not only did he leave my minion wave alone, but also his decision making has been spot on. Thanks to that, I'm already able to get 3 kills early in the game. Next, just keep plating, keep farming and keep pushing, but always be careful. In this part, I accidentally used my second skill out of reflex, which made the turret lock onto me, so I had no choice but to use my ultimate. And since I didn't want to waste it, I decided to dive into the turret, hoping to take down Natalia, who still has the smoke skill ready to cast. But then she just walked out of it and I was like, dude, why did you leave the smoke? Anyway, maybe she was just practicing Natalia, and I really appreciate that she did it in Classic and not Ranked. So now, what should we do after getting Berserker's Fury? Well, farm. You know what, when you pick heroes like Argus, Aeolus or any other late game heroes, it's better to just focus on farming. If you leave for a fight too early, there's a chance you'll end up being a burden and also lose your lane's minions, so yeah, just keep farming until you have 3 to 4 core items. Anyway, I'm going for another Windtalker after Berserkers to boost my movement speed even more since I won't be using any boots in this build. 2 Windtalkers are basically equal to 1 upgraded boots, and they also give you more attack speed. So just keep farming until you get your second Windtalker, then go for GDS for more movement speed, crit and some cooler reduction for your ultimate. Now even with these items, I'm still kinda having a hard time picking off the enemies. Kimi can just fly and run, Natalia can dash and go invincible, Kadita can dash and also being untargetable, and it's the same with Hayabusa. So I'm left with no choice but to aim for Johnson. But even with a mage build, a tank is still a tank. So yeah, let's just hope someone goes offside like this Hayabusa right here. After buying GDS, you'll be having around 90% crit rate with the Fatal Talent. At this point, you can start hunting for kills while farming for your third Windtalker. Don't be scared, don't hold back, just dive in and out after securing the kill. And in here, Natalia was chasing me, used her smoke, then left it behind again. Anyway, for my last item, I'm going with Blade of Despair to deal more burst damage. But if the enemy has fighters or tanky heroes, you can always go for Malefic Roar instead. And since I cannot really dive into their base, I'll just camp here because this bush is probably the best spot for Natalia to hide. After getting Blade of Despair as the last item, don't drag the game for too long since it might lead to a blunder, so I'll just unleash everything I have to pick off even the enemy tank. But as you can see, I still wasn't able to kill even a tank that's using a mage build, probably because of his Vengeance and ultimate passive. But that's okay, cause I can just kill steal my teammate for it. For my next move, I'll set up an ambush again to try picking someone off, but I think they're just ignoring my land. And since they managed to take down 2 of our cores, I'm starting to worry they might pull off a comeback, so let's just end it here. Now the question is this build really that good? But it's true that thanks to the synergy between Windtalker's passive, Inspire and Argus ultimate, he can quickly delete squishy enemies. But against tanks, it's going to be tough since Windtalker doesn't provide any damage stats, only attack speed, and it will be even harder against enemies with healing potential, especially since Argus isn't using Sea Halberd. Not only that, he will also have a harder time chasing enemies since he doesn't buy Corrosion Sight, and his early farming phase will be much harder as well because he'll need to recall when his HP is low as he doesn't use Has Claws. But it's truly a fun build to use. You can see how Kimi just got taken down easily by my hits and passive. But when it comes to their tanks, again it's become a lot tougher to deal with. To be honest, I love this build and I really mean it. I'm just hoping that I'll get the chance to try it in the ranked mode later with my squad. Because just take a look at the damage, it's insane. But at the end of the day, Argus is still Argus. Without his ultimate and getting crowd controlled by agile enemies with lots of escape skills and high movement speed will always be his natural counter. And you'll still need to consider when to engage the fight. Don't overcommit or get overconfident because even if your damage is high, jumping in without teammates or proper timing is just a reckless move. So I'll rate this build a 6 out of 10. At first glance, you might think it can deal massive damage and can quickly delete an enemy, but honestly, that's just how Argus works. With his usual build, he can still pull off something like this or even better in many situations. For me, the great part about this build is that you can trigger more hits from his passive when using Inspire during Argus ultimate. But I'd still suggest sticking to his usual build while keeping the crit rate around 70 to 80%. Your attack speed might not be as crazy, but the damage will definitely be higher. So here's my quick pros and cons analysis for this build based on my experience. That's all for today's video, thanks for watching and see you around. So, I just rolled my squad by using Argus in a ranked match after the season reset. This clip together with the montage at the very start of this video is my Argus gameplay for the new season 37. Even though we are playing in epic rank, this match was very intense since I couldn't even get a kill at the 12th minute. And that's because we were facing an ex-mythic squad. That's why I must say, if you want to keep your win rate great, don't push rank in the first week after the season reset because it will be filled with high rank players hungry for rank star points. So yeah, I'll just leave my highlights here to showcase this Windtalker build. Thanks for watching and see you tomorrow.